on the march, by the way. We are on the march.
And the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2. Available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. I've always believed in nutrition and herbs. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency.
I just received my Male Vitality about 3 days ago, and I must say, that is good stuff.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality and getting the day started.
It's not just the Super Male Vitality. All the products at InfoWarsLife.com are simply amazing. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered with the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water. Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today. Use promo code WATER and save 10% off your ProPure purchase. Or call 1-888-253-3139.
Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here again. Weekdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Re-aired on stations across the country as well. Simulcast on global shortwave. Those listings are all online at Infowars.com. So we have a world service. We get letters from missionaries in Africa, Asia, Latin America, you name it. Listen to us on WWCR World Service. And then, of course, we are the #1 political talk show on the internet, bar none, if you look at it in the aggregate. And I even have an email from some of the top-level folks at YouTube saying, wow, we want to work with you. You are now undoubtedly the biggest political show on YouTube. Looking at all the different channels that carry your material, undoubtedly, you are the biggest operation on YouTube. When it comes to political news and information, we want to work with you. People say, well, what does that mean when YouTube wants to work with you? It's a division of Google. Well, the average compartmentalized person at YouTube is not a bad person. And we have to be ready for success. We have to be ready to supplant the old order, which is tyranny, with the really old order that is beating in the human breast, liberty. Again, with all of our official channels together, we've got about 600 million views. You count some of the other channels, conservatively, 800 million views. 800 million views. And I'm not trying to brag here today. I want you to know out there that we are just one operation promoting freedom. And there are literally hundreds and hundreds of other channels, Outpost of Liberty on YouTube, that have got 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, 60 million, 100 million views that have only been around a few years. And when I see some talk show host or some documentary maker who's doing a better job than I am, we highlight those videos on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I get excited about finding other YouTube channels that are promoting liberty, and in some cases, I think, doing a better job than I do. And then sometimes I'll see they've got a little hit piece on me or something, but overall, there's not a lot of hit pieces on there. And so I'm very pleased, because I don't care about being attacked. That's a mark of being successful. And your children will also basically later in life try to differentiate and rebel against you. And so I've woken up, and my listeners have woken up. This operation has woken up so many tens of millions of people conservatively worldwide, tens of millions in the U.S. alone, that I expect people to go through that differentiation period where they will then see the fault in me, because we all have fault, or the distorted fault, and will be angry with me. And I totally understand, and I thank everyone out there who does try to reprove me. You know, some people say, Alex, you know, you say you're this Christian, but, you know, you play rock and roll music on your show. Well, I'm not up here thumping the Bible telling you you're a bad person and I'm holier than thou. I'm not a Pharisee. I don't tell you to get the speck out of your eye. I tell you to try to be a good person and to try to stand up for human liberty and freedom. You're not going to hear these mega churches talking about going to the abortuaries and trying to stop abortions. You're not going to hear these big mega churches speaking out against Obama or the open borders or global government. You're going to see them promoting it, but talking all day about how good they are and how you can name it and how you can claim it. So I never said that I wasn't wicked as the day is long. Let's get that straight. And I like the energy of Metallica or Megadeth. You know, Dave Mustaine is a Christian, you know, coming in. I have found that people that are open about their dark side are who I want to be around. Let me tell you who you better watch is people that act like they're holier than thou and act like how good they are all day and lecture you all day about how you're a devil. You better watch them real close, because the devil masquerades as an angel of light, ladies and gentlemen. I've got strong flesh. That's why I understand the globalist, because I can tune in to darkness, ladies and gentlemen. But my heart loves God, and my heart loves the innocent, and my heart loves justice, and I'm ready to die before I screw anybody over, and before I abuse the ignorant, and before I do anything to the children. Suffer the little children. Better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and throw yourself in the deepest sea. And who are the children? They're the handicaps. They're the veterans. They are the little children. They're the old people. The children are people that are under your control. The children are people that are in your stead, that are in your care, that you're a steward of. Are veterans children? No. But they're treated like children by the system and put into a position where they're treated like children, treated like they are basically been declared mentally unfit.
So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families, and recognize that kids belong to whole communities. Once it's everybody's responsibility and not just the households, then we start making better investments.
If you look at what the technocracy and monsters like Melissa Harris Perry are doing, they are declaring all of us unfit. They are declaring all of us malfunctioning. They are declaring all of us to be institutionalized. They're declaring us incompetent. That's what the whole welfare system, criminal justice system, media system, college system, all of it is about declaring you unfit. declaring you incompetent. And they run the PSYOP and put the troops on drugs early and put them in too many tours and then tell them they're mentally ill, but don't worry, you'll get your benefits as long as you waive your rights and say you have PTSD, and then run this operation. I can't tell you how many vets I know who finally got off all the serotonin reuptake inhibitors, the SSRIs, and the opiates that they put them on and look 10 years younger and are healthy and understand the mind game that was played on them. And understand the way to get better is to realize they're in an info war against the globalists and the innocents need them. And sure, they were rode hard and put away wet, but they're not going to let the globalists run that mind game on them. They're going to break their conditioning and decide they have value and not buy into the PSYOP that something's wrong with them. And 9 times out of 10, the troops I personally know, the veterans I know, can reverse that mind game by helping others and getting back in the game, this time for the battle for the Republic. So this simpering snake, this fascist, authoritarian kleptocrat, literally using psych warfare from the Ford Foundation, where she was trained, and the Obama administration and the Clinton administration to savagely go on television and brutalize, quote, minorities who are the majority now in most areas of the country, and tell them that whites are their enemies, and tell them that anyone that doesn't want a North American Union, and totally collapse borders, and tens of millions of people here having their babies for free, and a huge new political welfare class, that anyone that doesn't wholesale run up a white flag to her is a racist. Your kids belong to us, or you're racist. The borders are wide open, or you're racist. And she sits there flogging it. You can watch them reading the teleprompters, like literal generals turning to each other and then nodding to each other as they savagely run their op. These people are so wicked, you can't even imagine the operations they're running. They are high-fiving the bring down of this country. They're not liberal ideologues that mean well. They are commandos. They are psych warfare generals. That is not rhetoric. They will attack and attack and attack. They are the enemy of you and your family 110%. And until you realize that they are trained...
military might of the National Guard to defend ourselves against them. Could we please pause for a moment here and remember that we are talking about children who are vulnerable, unprotected, and afraid, who are fleeing extreme violence and poverty in their home countries, drawn to the United States border by our nation's reputation as a place where children are valued, precious, and protected. And to some extent, what they have found here is as good as what is advertised. There are people of the Rio Grande Valley, despite being at the epicenter of the surge in children and families crossing the border, have stepped up to support their region's strained resources with thousands of hours of volunteer time, food, shelter, and emotional support for the migrant kids. Then there was Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick, who last week offered temporary shelter for up to 1,000 unaccompanied minors, citing what he called America's century-long tradition of giving sanctuary to desperate children. And if we look to that history, we do indeed see there are moments when children have been the catalyst that moved Americans to push beyond their own biases and borders, both national and racial. In May of 1963, the Children's Crusade, organized by the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, brought more than 3,000 young people to the city of Birmingham, Alabama, in a show of civil disobedience against segregation in the city. Once Americans saw those images of children standing courageously against injustice, the tide of national public opinion took a pivotal turn in support of the civil rights movement's cause. But we can't embrace that moment of America's moral fortitude without also owning the great moral failing to which it was responding. Because the children at the border have also been confronted with a hostility that is as old as the segregated South and just as American as the grace and charity of those to who have extended a hand of help. And if we are to claim our history in protecting vulnerable children, we must also grapple with our history of responding to them as a threat when their presence undermines an established order. As much as Americans rallied to the cause of the Children's Crusade, it was also agents of the American state that were willing to attack them with armed officers, fire hoses, and police dogs when they challenged a deeply entrenched way of life in the South. Rick Perry was preceded in his call to send armed troops to confront children by Arkansas Governor Orval Faubus. And he, of course, called the National Guard to stop the Little Rock Nine from their first day of school at Central High.
All right, that's enough. Then she goes into Rick Perry again as she began. Rick Perry has put 1,000 Border Patrol National Guard down there to simply give the illegals, most of them are adults, to the Border Patrol and ICE, who then give them green cards. And